Hey everyone, I was tearing apart my Model S today. I have the new facelift edition. Um, I did not get the bioweapon defense mode, and there's some fires in the area, and I kind of wanted to see if I could do something to add some filtration. So I started taking apart the Tesla, and I found that there is just a little place for a filter. All you have to do is put the filter in, and now you have HEPA filtration. So in order to get this started, all you do is you take off this little piece of plastic here. Next, you're going to want to remove these little clips here. So there's one here, and one here. Just pop those out. And this is on the tray that's underneath that piece of plastic. Once you get it off, be careful. There are some clips on the left and right side. So if we're looking at the picture, they would be somewhere down here and over here. Unfortunately, you can't see it in this picture, but just be careful. Try not to break them like I did. It doesn't make that much of a difference if you break them because they kind of just clips in, but just be careful. On the side, there's also these hoses. Same area, you need to disconnect the hose on both sides. So I kind of just twisted it to the right. There's another hose right here. So you'll just want to take that hose off, and then that whole piece just comes off and you can put it up to the side. Next, there's a piece of plastic under here that is basically diverting air. So what happens is the air comes in this side here, the front area, which we just took off, the piece of plastic that connects to that, and then it goes out this side, and this little section right here, there's an air filter between the two. But if you don't order bioweapon defense mode, then the air filter is just not there. So this is just to show here, you just pull up from the front, and then when you get to the back, you kind of just have to wiggle it out. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but you can get it out. This is me trying to show you where the filter would go. There's kind of a leaf down there. Again, just pointing to where the filter would be. Here's the intake, here's the output, and then between the two, there's like a little place for a filter. Now the dimensions of the filter are 14 inches by 27.5 inches, and I try to find filters at Home Depot or somewhere close that would actually work for that size. I couldn't find them online. I couldn't find them at Home Depot. Seems to be maybe a proprietary size that Tesla's using just to stop people from doing this exact thing. What I'm actually going to do, so right now I went to Home Depot and I purchased two filters that were 16 inches by 25 inches, and I kind of rigged them together. You know, I cut them apart and then put them back together. It's not the best solution, but it's a temporary fix until I get my 14 by 30, which is going to be a lot easier to rig because you just have to cut it a certain size and then just put the end on. But I'll show you that here in a moment. So this filter is actually attached to the frunk, so the frunk bed, or whatever you want to call it. So you actually have to remove the whole thing. So what you're going to want to do, you need to get all the little pieces of plastic around it. You're going to start by lifting up on the front of the car. Getting that piece of plastic up, it's just held on by little plastic little nuggets that look like this. Here I'm showing you that these edges, the sides here and here, so you're going to need to basically pull the front up a little bit. Don't try to pull the sides off yet. So the sides, you actually need to lift up on the right side and push down on the left side. Kind of do like a movement where you lift this part up here and push this part down. So then you'll see that it's connected with these a pin and a little clip. So both sides have the same little situation, so just do the same on both sides. So that piece should come off and you can just put it to the side. Next, you're going to pull up on the long piece of plastic. Be kind of careful. It's not on there too hard. Just pull up. It has a bunch of pins on the bottom that are holding in. There's no screws or anything. There is a little rubber grommet right here. You just pull it through. Here's an example of that. So you'll see that you just pulled the little grommet through. So once you have all the plastic removed, it's going to look like this. So you still can't figure out how to get it open. Next step is going to be taking off the liner. So the liner of the frunk needs to come off. You just kind of pull it underneath this weather stripping, and it's going to reveal a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. So once you actually get it all removed from the weather stripping, don't try to pull it out immediately. What you're going to want to do is right in front here, there are two connectors for the trunk release and the little light in there. So don't go pulling on it because you might strip these cables. So you need to pull them out. This one up here is a little tough. You need to push down this pin and then push left on this little piece of plastic, and then it should pop out. It's a little tricky. This one actually just pulls right out. So once you get all that off, it's going to look like this. You're going to have all these bolts. Don't take all the bolts out. You just need to remove this bolt here and this bolt here. That's it. Just take those two bolts out and the whole frunk will come out. You need to take those out, and then actually, sorry, you also need to take out this pin and this pin. So there's 2 pins in the front and 2 bolts in the back that need to come out for you to be able to do this. So once you take those 2 bolts out and these 2 pins out right here, the whole frunk just wiggles out. You'll see. Make sure you put this little cable somewhere. This is the cable you disconnected from the trunk, so you don't smash it or lose it or something. Also, you're going to have the 2 hoses that you disconnected from the first piece of plastic you took out. Sorry, second piece of plastic. So once you get to this stage, you're going to have the frunk, taken out. Here's the back of the frunk. You'll notice there's some sort of heat pad here that blocks the heat, and then this is the filter box. This is the beauty. This is what we want. So if you look right here where I'm moving the mouse up and down, you can see it's a square little area right here that looks like it would take a filter, because it does take a filter. So you pop it open, and look, lo and behold, there's a little recessed lip in there for the filter. This is the intake. That is the this is the intake. That is the output. So next, what you're going to want to do is get your filters, and you're going to have to, you can see here, I was just measuring to see if it fits, and it's perfectly flush. So it's a 1-inch by 14-inch by 27.5-inch filter. That's the size. You're not going to find it online, or if someone does, please post a comment. I would love to just get one, but I think they're proprietary to Tesla. I'm not sure on that. So what I did, I started cutting it apart. This is me cutting it down to size from 16 inches to 14 inches. Now, the reason I did it this way is because they didn't have any 14-inch filters that were HEPA certified. So this is HEPA. This is a level 10 FRS something at Home Depot. At the end of the video, I'll have an exact thing that I got. But I just got this Home Depot. It was $20. I got 2 of them, $40. So $40 for bioweapon defense filtration is pretty good, I think, anyway. So here's me after rigging it all together. So now it is 27 by 14. I taped it with some aluminum duct tape because that stuff is really sticky and it's impervious. You can see there's an overlap here of the 2 filters. I overlapped by about 4 inches or so. I didn't want to overlap too much because I didn't want to reduce the area, but I also wanted to overlap enough to avoid any kind of contaminants getting in. Now, what I did is there's metal in all of these little ridges, and I just kind of crimped these together and twisted with my hand to make sure that they kind of stay together. So I went row by row. Poked myself a few times with the little pins because you have to cut it, but overall, I think I did a good job of making sure that no air can slip in real easily. I taped this side here at the end, and I taped that side on the other side. Now, as you can see, it's perfectly in here. I also went ahead and taped the entire perimeter with the aluminum tape just to make sure there's no way that air can just bypass my filter. So once I got that in there, I put it back on the back of the frunk, took a little pictures through the vent so you could see the intake side, and the car's back together. Now, the reason I did this is because I live in an area that's there's a few wildfires, and it's very smoky in the Bay Area right now, and I did not want to deal with that in the car, so it gives me a headache, and I actually tried this out. I drove around, didn't smell anything. It was amazing. So that's my video. You can see here, this is what I bought as far as the actual filter itself. It's the FPR 10 rating filter, and it looks like it filters everything that Tesla says, viruses, odor, smoke, smog particles, everything. So let me know what you think in the description, and let me know if you have any ideas or anything. All right.